Yay. It's like, it matters how bad our production is. It matters, though. You know? Like, you know, it reminds me of, like, someone complains about our shit, you know? It's like, guys, come on. And it's like, I mean, would it really matter? You know? Does it really matter?
Look at those shoes you're wearing, bro.
What are those? Oh. It's like
Black Panther.
Who taught you to care? Who taught you to care about it? Come on.
Who let that happen in Black Panther?
I feel like I don't know about you, but someone complains about our shit, you know, it's like, guys, man, I'm gonna get flagged for me. Fuck. Alright, cool. Anyway.
You motherfucker. Yeah. Alright, so this guy, David Pakman, made a pretty short video response to a discussion, or it was basically a debate between Jordan Peterson and Matt Dillahunty, I believe his name is. And I'm actually going to defend Peterson on this.
I'm an observer.
And this Pakman guy seems like he's just reading a script and putting forced emotion behind it. No offense. But let's do it.
Off and on about Jordan Peterson, who's quickly become known as a sort of stunning and innovative intellectual by pseudo-intellectuals and anti-intellectuals and anti-SJWs. And I've basically characterized Jordan Peterson as an anti-SJW self-help equivalent to Deepak Chopra with a hidden twist of a Christian agenda. And I'm not going to recreate my entire criticism of Peterson's rhetoric here, but the long and short of it is that he became known for misstating what Canada's C-16 bill would have done with regard to transgender pronouns. He used that notoriety to publicly promote his, again, Deepak Chopra-like teachings, which if you want to critique, you're told you're either misstating Peterson's statements or you just don't understand what Peterson is saying.
Alright. So, why can't you just look at someone's ideas or like a multitude of their ideas and then I agree with this and I disagree with this? Why does it have to be a blanket? They're, what's he call him? Like a guru or something? Or a fake guru?
Oh, him?
This guy's calling Peterson that, basically.
Well, I feel like it could be what people make him out to be, you know?
Yeah.
It's like this. It's like if like someone we listen to has like a legion of fans and they literally they like suck his dick, figuratively speaking, you know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he becomes somewhat, in their eyes, they make him a guru, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Or as far as they don't challenge his viewpoints, they don't like really. They're no more are they spectators listening to someone. They're merely just fans.
Yeah.
I don't know if, you know, like I'm sure, like I don't know if Peterson, but I'm probably like, well, I don't want that, you know. Like, I don't know.
Possibly. I think he accepts it, but really tries to stay professional about it.
Like, there's fan pages of this dude. I've seen them. I try to find him on like social media. Yeah. I found fan pages dedicated. There's pictures of him. It's weird. I feel like one person was like, I don't know, like I'm not saying they did it to him, but people do this with celebrities. Like, people pretend to be people.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck are we? What are we doing?
Well,
no, they're like fans, you know. It's really weird.
Do you mean fan pages, or do you mean someone's like,
there's a fan,
I'm Jordan Peterson?
Well, there's a fan page, and I feel like sometimes you see these people. It just says Jordan Peterson, so and so and so and so. It's like that's not your real page, you know. That's not his real page.
Yeah.
This is his real page, you know.
He does have a YouTube page.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Nah, I can see why someone who, in my opinion, probably hasn't attempted to look at the ideas, but just assumes that he's self-help guru type guy, which he might be.
Maybe.
It's because of the metaphysical ideas. Now, I've been looking into his ideas on religion and the Bible or whatever, metaphysics, and I'm seeing more and more correlations between my ideas and his ideas. They're very interesting. I might disagree on how he applies them, such as monogamy would be the best way to create a healthy society, or monogamy should be promoted because it'll promote healthy behavior from whoever.
Sure, I just think it's a result of someone like that. Like, our idea of that was just a result of people finding the soulmate, you know. Oh, that's what we'll call it. We'll call it monogamy.
No.
No?
I think it's more of a just technical term of you have one partner as opposed to multiple partners.
I thought that's the way it was, you know, not like a rule or anything. Like, you can't have more than one. Maybe call it spirit of the rule or something like that, you know.
I think he's saying, well, our argument was that just a healthy relationship is a healthy relationship. It's not about the numbers involved.
Well, I meant, like, if there's one, then, you know,
yeah.
Then there would be no need, you know, for 5 or 8, I don't know.
I wonder if they can see this. Oh, I'm blocking it.
I'm blocking it?
I'm blocking it. David Pakman's logo looks like Jordan Peterson's initials. I found that funny looking at the...
Looks like a D and P.
Looks like a J and a P.
That's a D.
Looks like a J.
It's a D.
That's like cut off right there. Alright, whatever.
It's a D.
So let's go back to this massacre argument he's about to put up against Jordan Peterson.
And he's grown this massive income for himself on the basis of appealing to this anti-SJW crowd. So what I want to do today is look at a specific video that was posted on our subreddit that goes to an example of the hidden Christian agenda that many people just don't see or know about Jordan Peterson. He recently debated friend of the show Matt Dillahunty, who I've interviewed before. And at a certain point during the debate, Peterson makes the ridiculous claim, which is that even people who say they are atheists actually do believe in God deep down, maybe so deep down that they don't even know it. Because if they were actually atheists, they wouldn't have a moral compass and might be mass murderers, because you can't actually have that moral compass without accepting religion in some way. Maybe I'm misunderstanding or misstating what Peterson said. I'm sure his followers will say that. So let's take a look at the video.
So, I'm not a follower, and
I'm really a skeptic. You know.
I think
more, but you know.
Peterson, in this abstract, symbolic way, when he says God, he means something like goodness or truth or something like that.
Sure, I don't think he means the fundamentalist term as far as God, as in the supreme being in wherever, a different realm, who judges and knows all, and we are lesser, you know.
I think good.
Don't.
Me? Right.
The camera's on, please. No. I believe it's something that really, it's a little tough for me to describe it. It's probably describes God in some sort of like metaphysical type of way, as far as
I don't think he tries to describe God. I think that's just the word he uses to place on something.
Fair.
Something else.
But it's basically something that we all are, you know, as far as externally and internally, you know, something that we project from ourselves.
Okay. That's yours, right? Not Peterson's. Or do you think that's what Peterson's saying?
I would say, like, if he did say that, I could see where people would go, huh, like, he's really a Christian. Get him. It's like,
yeah.
It's like, you know, if like someone asks you, do I believe in, like, do you believe in God? I'm like, well, what do you mean? I'm not just gonna say yes.
And that leads to the video that David Pakman's about to show us. It's where Peterson's constantly trying to get Matt Dillahunty to define well-being. It's like, well, what do you mean by that? You have to define these terms before you say caring about someone's well-being. It's like, well, what do you mean? Let's see that.
Yeah, I'm trying to. For years, I had this thing going where people would say, "Oh," and this is kind of what we're getting at from a different angle. I would say they would be afraid of what we would lose if we lost religion, and I basically said, demonstrate to me any benefit.
Oh, you'd lose art and poetry and drama and narrative and
Why?
story.
Are there no godless artists and poets?
See, as much as
Well, then again, I have to know what.
as much as Dillahunty has to define well-being, Peterson would have to define God in order to say that there wouldn't be artists or whatever without religion or without
Sure.
God.
Could be thinking the idea of God is something
But
as far as
you can tell, yeah, you could smell it that he's like insinuating that God is some innate inner force thing going on
sure, like
that you express.
basically a base of creation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like artists, like where'd you get that from? I was just, they acted on it. I felt something.
It's your brain.
See, the chemicals interacted with each other.
You have enough serotonin.
It's like, Daddy, I love you. Honey, I love you too. And basically what that means is chemicals. There's nothing greater going on here.
Yeah. No need to investigate. We can see it under the microscope. We'll stop there. Alright.
There are artists and poets who think they're godless.
So we might have crossed over into a problem area because
Yeah, no doubt.
I don't actually, I can't draw for crap, although I do draw during the show. But one of the individuals who came to the show the other night handed me something that she had spent a great deal of time drawing. She's a wonderful artist. I'm very grateful to get it. And, while I pretend to read minds on stage, I constantly acknowledge that I can't actually read minds. So I can't tell you whether or not she actually believes in a God, but I can tell you that I actually don't believe in a God, and I can write
But you act like
poetry.
you do.
Huh?
But you act like you do. That's why you didn't
I
want
act
to
like-
Sam off the stage.
No, now you're making a claim.
What do you say?
Okay, so I'm telling.
That's why you didn't throw Sam off the stage, Sam Harris.
Oh, okay.
You I don't believe there's a God. And
Yeah.
your response to that is, I really do, because I have a moral sense. But my moral sense is utterly without any appeal to a God.
Explicitly.
I was about to say egotistically. He said explicitly. Works.
Or implicitly.
Maybe.
The
That's not so obvious.
Okay, it's really,
See,
it's
because
easy.
you regard Sam Harris as an implicitly valuable entity. Because otherwise you just throw him off the stage. And then the question is, well, just exactly why is he an implicitly valuable entity?
I don't
What's your
think he's-
metaphysics of that?
I don't think he's implicitly valuable in the sense, in the,
And before this guy starts, whatever, before he keeps
the
going,
Smackdown.
yeah, we need a fucking wireless mouse or something. I'm gonna keep that video going so we have more context. Let's do that. Yeah.
I don't think he's implicitly valuable in the sense, in the.
It's the shoes.
I don't think he's implicitly valuable in the sense that the universe has implied that there's something explicit about it. For me, morality is far simpler than some people.
No, wait, you
think
sounded
of.
doubtful about that. You know that, like
Maybe
you've been
you're the
sounding-
mind reader,
you've been-
I-
well, maybe.
Because you've already suggested that despite me sitting here and having talked about this for decades, that I don't believe in God, that I actually do because I have a moral code. But my moral code, which I
Well, I was
talked
more
about,
specific. I said it was because you didn't want to throw Sam off the stage. It
yes,
wasn't
but
just
you
that
didn't.
had a
You didn't
moral code.
You didn't even attempt to ask me why I didn't throw Sam off the stage. Instead, you went to why do you think Sam has implicit value? Because it
Okay,
seems
so
that in your narrative,
I'm willing
that's
to go
the
there.
only justification.
Well, maybe you were afraid of being punished.
I think you no.
Oh,
I think
okay.
you can have a perfectly acceptable foundation for secular morality, even if it fundamentally centers around selfishness. I'd rather not be thrown off the stage. It's in my best interest to encourage that sort of understanding in others, and therefore I will not throw him off the stage.
I just have to. It's like they have wonderful chairs, but everyone else has probably foldable shits that no one else sees.
You wanted to stop that?
Yep. All right, go ahead.
He's using that basically the veil of ignorance argument of self-interest, as in if you somehow eliminate yourself from the equation, and let's say someone's getting robbed or shot or something, it's like plausibly that could be you, and you wouldn't want that to happen.
So you don't want it to happen to anybody. It's like, wait, what?
I know.
It's like, how about it's not good? It's not a good thing to do. It's an empty act of violence, and like, do we have to really?
It's a dry mechanistic view of empathy.
I'm in the act of shooting someone. Yeah. Not the veil of ignorance concept or theory.
Yeah. Those type of like dry ideas end up leaving wiggle room for whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, I wonder what it's like to get hit by a car. Like anyone like that, or people who gain pleasure from pain.
And the Joker comes up. He's like, "Guess what, guys? How about this?"
No.
It's like, oh man, the guy that wants to watch the world burn. Like, how did that happen?
I would rather not have my stuff stolen, and it's in my best interest to encourage others not to do that, so I will not steal stuff, and I will work with others to ensure that the people who steal stuff are punished. It is a virtually pragmatic.
I mean, I'm just gonna assume that, like, you know, he would obviously agree that, you know, like, it's not a good thing to do. Not. I mean,
What do you mean?
like, he would. I'm sure that he would agree. Like, you know, it's not a good thing to steal from somebody. Not only because it's, well, I wouldn't want it to happen to me. How about it's just not a good thing in general? How about that? You know, like stealing, taking something away from someone, like in a certain way. You know.
Yeah. Empathy's a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for.
It has deeper meaning than just putting yourself in someone else's shoes. It's also there's things attached to it, like sympathy or guilt or things. Those are extra metaphysical feelings attached to it. It's not just logically I don't want to be robbed, so then I don't agree with robbing in society. It's like you need to.
It's like also an understanding of like what? Well, we started at love, then we go to empathy. It's just a chemical. Yeah.
I assure you, it's not. Right.
Why do you think it's not in your best interest to have stuff stolen from you or to be thrown off the stage?
Why is it not in my best interest?
Yeah. No, you don't get.
And that's a fair question, because you haven't. Well, yeah, give him a chance to define things first.
Sure. Go ahead. Play.
I think, that's self-evident. It's like nothing's self-evident to the skeptic. Let's keep that in mind.
Oh. Well, so.
Because if we're going to get skeptical here, we might as well go all the way to the bottom.
So for Sam and I, the foundations, and we're not the only ones, but I tend to reference Sam just because if I say this, then somebody will say, well, that's exactly what Sam Harris says, except that, I was given this lecture before he wrote his book. But his book is better than my lecture, so read his book. When I talk about this, I'm talking about well-being is the language that Sam uses. I don't care whether or not somebody else considers that morality. I would think at a minimum, would you and I agree that
that whole well-being thing, man, as a basis for a metaphysics, that's just a
we're not basing metaphysics on it.
Sam is.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is, because he's out to maximize well-being.
You can take it up with
a poor foundation to start with. Sort of like love is just chemical reactions in the brain.
So the pillars of the house are already weak to begin with.
Wouldn't philosophy require more than that?
The building, I mean.
Yeah. If you're developing a philosophy, then you have to intake
So
certain ideas, certain principles of philosophy.
I guess to keep it standing would require
like doubt.
To keep that argument standing would require constant attention to the weak pillars to hold up the basis of the whole argument.
Yeah.
As it crumbles, some magnificent thing will happen in order to provide stability for the building or the argument, theory, belief that is claimed to be a fact or which is known. And it goes on.
And that's not philosophy by itself either. That's science too. Science is supposed to be a doubt-making machine until there's no more doubt left.
It can be, yeah.
That's what it's supposed to be, I think.
Well, I mean, it can be. It also can be used as a fucking cult following religion.
Nah, I wouldn't blame science for that. I know how
My bad.
I know how I throw the word science around. I don't actually mean science itself.
I mean people. My bad. People.
Yeah.
Because people make out probabilities to be factors, not science itself. I didn't mean that.
Yeah.
Brain fuckery going on. Yeah, it's just like a symbol. Yeah. Like whatever the swastika was originally, was a fucking involved in Buddhism. That's what I make it out to be. Now we have laws where I can't fucking wear something like that. As far as the Buddhist symbol, I'll get arrested.
Yeah.
Or I'll get vilified. It's like, do you know where this originated from?
Was it Buddhist?
Pretty sure.
Or was it Hindu?
Something regarding there.
Yeah.
Something.
Watch
Whatever.
The Da Vinci Code with Tom Hanks. He shows that at the beginning of the movie.
Is it worth a watch? It's a long movie.
I like the movie. I didn't care for suspense. They're being chased by.
Okay, fair enough.
But I like the quiet little symbols sprinkled throughout.
I'll look for that. On a Sunday.
Well, okay, sorry. You think I'm wrong about that claim? That's what I understood.
I don't think Sam's saying anything metaphysical about it. I think so. Here's the thing: we are physical beings.
Well, it's his fundamental claim, so it's sort of at the basis of his ethic. And so he says, well, we should work to maximize people's well-being, or at least to. Well, he does a bit more than that because he says we should minimize their suffering.
He's not minimize in this sense of simple consequentialism. Let me do this.
Okay.
We're physical beings in a physical universe, and laws that dictate how things work in the universe, they are the ultimate arbiters of what is or isn't in our best interest, whether we know it or not. So, for example...
yes and no, because we are that thing that's the arbiter, right? We aren't separate from nature, really.
I like to hear what you have to say, though, so, yeah. Like,
we aren't separate from nature. It's not like... we're people. Nature's over here somewhere. So, if we are aspects of nature, and yet we still create ideas and dictate certain things, then isn't that just nature dictating certain things? Maybe that's nitpicky, but whatever.
Oh, there's no such thing.
Of course there is.
Wait. In a bad way, possibly, but... Wait. It's like we're aliens and we showed up here and we're foreign to everything. No, we're separate. It's like a beaver builds a dam, It's like, oh, it's a little spot. It's its home. No, it's just an animal. Look what I built. Yeah, it's the same thing, except it looks more like what we would build. Nope.
Similar things with technology, man.
Like a clay hut, Clay instead of concrete,
Yeah. Like, with technology, they're just extensions of us. Mm. It's not like us and then technology. Like, no, we're all nature. Right?
And the cyborgs rise.
Internet's like a... the internet's like a... You can almost say like a symbol for the brain, if you want.
I don't know why. It's like a big electronic library,
There you go. Right.
So far as I can tell...
Then why do you need free will?
I don't think
why do you believe in it then? Why do you attribute agency to things if the laws of the universe can
get to that one point?
Well, but there was a contradiction.
Because free will isn't relevant to this.
It is if the laws of the universe are what are dictating what's good for us.
No, because if you chop off my head, that is clearly not good for me.
That's relative. That's
What if you wanted your head to get
What I would
chopped
say,
off?
chooser's choice. Someone may actually want their head cut off. Now, that doesn't seem very likely, but if you're going to be scientific about it, you have to allow the possibility of it.
Oh, the chance that they would like
that's
it.
possible.
Yeah. Okay. Or they love the feeling of it, or they love the idea of it, or
be curious.
Yeah. I wonder.
Will my head shut off?
Will I still be active after this? Yes, do it.
Is there life after death? Someone chop my head off.
Alright. You're gonna sew my head back to my neck after I'm done. Do it. Do it.
Or was it Futurama where they keep the heads?
Yeah. Richard Nixon. I was like, what the fuck?
And it doesn't matter whether it was an act of free will or if it was my lawnmower.
It's clearly not good for you because you think you're valuable and worth preserving.
Yes.
Okay, that's the issue. Why do you think you're valuable and worth preserving?
Because I am the descendants of people who thought they were valuable and worth preserving, and the ones who didn't think that have killed themselves. But this is not as...
That's not a great response. I think he's going towards evolution, survival of the fittest.
Oh.
The only reason my favorite color is blue is because people who like the color blue survived over long periods of time. And
is that the same?
Nah, that was just a poor fucking whatever you call it.
You might as well just use his example.
That was a poor example.
Might as well just use his. You know, reiterate it. I would say, right? Is that the proper word? The only reason why I'm here is because my ancestors took value in themselves. That's it.
And the ones that didn't take value killed themselves or died off or whatever.
Dude, well, we don't know that too. You know. It's like I can't find the words to.
Well, once again, it just goes back to the chicken and the egg argument. Who was the first valuer? Who was the first one to put value on themselves?
Or defined it, you know.
And then go before that, like, well, who invented value? This thing.
Or at least
this
like,
thing we call
like
value.
the true meaning of it, you know, as far as it's already there, you know. It's whether you like fucking walk down the hallway and you open the door, it's like, oh, look what's here. I'm gonna call it this.
Yeah.
See? I discovered it. Like, you discover something that's already there.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
It's like, I discovered this land. Like, no. My fault. It's like, ah!
Alright.
Poor
If
fucks.
anyone was actually listening, like,
let's see.
nah, I don't think so.
You know, tell your mom to fucking tune in every now and then, man.
Hey, Mom. Alright.
Dad's like, I'm watching too, man.
Yeah, we gotta go back to Pakman soon.
Okay.
The Pakman.
Statement about... This is not a statement about intrinsic value.
I don't know. Yes, I think
No,
it is. Okay, but I think it is.
Okay.
If it was a Heineken, I was like, whoa.
The reason that we talk about this in terms of well-being is because irrespective of whether or not I care about well-being, there are facts about well-being.
Sure, let's hear them, man. Line those suckers up.
If you chop off my head, it's in contradiction to my well-being. I mean, that's... the point.
No, I wasn't willing to grant that, actually.
Okay.
Neither
I'm
am I.
saying that's a metaphysical presupposition.
And he is correct about that.
What does that mean?
That means it was a
Metaphysical what do you say?
presupposition.
Presupposition.
Think of the word suppose. I'm supposing something before it. It's sort of like the love is chemical things in the brain. What are you doing?
What?
What are you doing?
Nothing. Keep going. Keep going. I'm listening.
Sort of like the argument that
What?
presupposition is when you have a idea already self-established before when you're making another type of argument, just like love is a chemical in the brain. then that sets up the rest of the argument. So I have to set that up with this, which is a presupposition, as in this is already established as fact, and then move on. When really this hasn't really been established as fact. I probably butchered that, but
It's almost like it's something.
It's like a pre-bias.
Oh, there's a spider and I don't know where he is.
ADD.
Wait. Fuck. So I make sure, nothing bad happens.
Interesting.
You're just saying I have to accept that.
No, I'm not telling you at all what to accept.
Sure you are. You're saying that your death would be wrong.
I'm trying to explain what my position is.
Okay, but you said that wouldn't be in accordance with your well-being. Okay, that's a metaphysical statement, a philosophical statement. It's not an obvious fact.
That
That's
chopping
not a
off somebody's
fact.
head is contrary to their well-being.
Depends on how you define well-being.
Sure.
Yeah, but it matters.
But if you define well-being as this glass of water, we're no longer talking about the same thing.
Well, you can.
I went to a weak argument. Alright, I'm done with this.
Like, I don't want to.
If you're saying the soul is important, but you define this table as the soul, then it's not really saying anything. It's like, come on, man.
Damn. Jordan looking down from the mountain. Come on, bro.
Come on, bro.
Walks away. No, it's you handing
Bro.
back. You handing back test scores. You can do better. You can do better, Billy. It says D on it, minus, and then it says I'm being generous here. Come on now. Name the continents. And you named, and it showed Canada. You wrote, if I get extra points, I write Canada. I did it. I was like, maybe.
Alright, so let's go back. So we just added more context to this guy's video. Let's continue on and see what he says.
First and foremost, this is...
That's fucking loud. No, leave that. I don't know. Can you do that? Do it.
Do it.
Yes.
First and foremost,
That's pretty
this is a hypothesis that is unfalsifiable, right? The idea that atheists believe in God so deep down that even they don't know it. You can't test that. And they're...
So,
Testing.
this would be unfalsifiable if he didn't have a definition behind it. So Peterson needs to, if he doesn't have one already, he needs to draw up a definition of what exactly he means by this. Then it can be tested. It can't be tested on we all share the same exact experience, so we must throw this in a bowl, get a microscope, and study it. It's like, no, you need self-inspection.
I don't have the psychic ability to read your mind and able to know everything that you do on some sort of other level of something. I have no idea what could possibly be. That's like some other shit. Like, you are happy deep down. It's like, I am.
It seems like when I run into these arguments, it seems like they're so hell-bent on eliminating the individual in order to come up with some sort of group truth about themselves. It's like, wait, what?
Limiting the individual.
It's like we're trying to understand.
Well, no, it's boxing out reality in a way to come up with truth. It's like, how do you do that?
I mean, yeah, granted, Peterson's throwing out a blanket term, right? He's putting it on, I think he's putting it on atheists.
Oh, I thought he did it on purpose. It's like you do. And then he breaks it down, and then he would say, this is why. I haven't heard it.
Yeah.
It was like constant, like, it's like a left hook and a counter, and then he blocks, and then it's backing up into a corner and resetting. It's like, wait, no, continue. It's like, reset.
Well, they get on. I've seen the video.
They
go on to, or Peterson finally gets into define well-being. But
I'm into God thing.
Let's stick to Pakman here. That argument that well, you can't prove it. We can't test for it. You can't prove it. Like metaphysical ideas, yes, you can test and prove them. It's just you can't share them with everyone else. You Can you share you with everyone else?
Moral intelligence.
Can you share yourself with everyone else on a metaphysical level?
And that dude with the robe shows up. It's like, no. Not time for that, man.
All right, let's not even say metaphysical. Let's say intellectual. Can you say precisely what you mean to someone with words alone? Even if you have infinite words to use and infinite time to use them.
At the end of the day, words are something that we use to communicate with them. So, like, best, yeah. So I can describe to you what or how or whatever.
But
you won't know.
Even then, the words are coming from a unique perspective.
Well,
as
sure.
in, there is nothing else like it perspective. You are the only you perspective. So when you express something, even on a purely egotistical, intellectual level, there's still something you're adding with your content that the other person can't observe or see. So how the fuck are you going to test this in a lab and share it with the rest of the world and say, oh, we all agree that this is this?
Unless someone imagine it's like someone just elevates to a higher level of being, if you can even call it that. they're just their raw jelly meat bodies just falls to the ground, right? Then this fucking glowing orb of whatever color. It's not even a color. It's just constant colors. It's like, I know.
Well, actually, and let me correct myself and say it might be possible to have that shared. I understand completely what you mean, 100%, and that would be cue Ric Flair here, woo woo collective unconscious, which is a collection of all human thought or ideas or whatever, and it all floating in this sea of content.
That's crazy.
Some people use the Akashic records or something like that.
That's crazy.
So,
come on now.
If everyone can somehow get there and then communicate, then it would be like full understanding of each other.
Listen,
but that's out there though.
I'll wait for the studies to prove that.
All right. But you can't prove it like that. Fuck. All right.
Our concept of proving something.
It is not of any effective value.
Or an attempt to.
What he's saying effectively is that it might seem like you can be a good person and have a moral compass and not believe in God. But in reality, the reason you're a good person is because you believe in God, even if you don't know about it, and that's what prevents you from being a mass murderer or throwing Sam Harris off of the stage.
It's really odd to me how like one couldn't come up with the idea that well, does he mean God as a fundamentalist, or does he mean he's using the same word just in a different way? Which that's the first thing I thought of, literally.
Mm-hmm.
You know, cause so far we there's videos of us disagreeing with Peterson.
Oh yeah.
So it's not like I love him so much.
Well,
it's
thing.
Like, well, hold on. It's like, you know, I'm not out to. I'm gonna get him this time. You know, it's like
our video title.
Yeah. So, when I hear this, I'm like, okay, what does he mean? You know, it's very interesting. You know, because if we're gonna go the way I thought it would, then it did, seemingly.
Yeah.
But it's very odd to me how like he or anybody else would kind of like automatically say, well, this is what he means. If that's what he's saying.
I'm used to.
Is that what he's saying?
In my biased idea of.
Hold on. Is that what he's saying, right?
Basically.
All right. So.
In my biased idea of atheists, when they hear God, they instantly assume religious this or that.
Religious
something
texts,
from a religious text. Yeah.
Holy ideal of the higher being, etc.
Yeah.
And the constant alleged copying of such, you know. Or was it Muhammad, Jesus, there's more prophet figures out there. And then some people have which it is interesting, you know, the idea of it, they're all very similar in many ways, how there's, I'll just say, whatever, many similarities, you know, allegedly.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, like Zeitgeist, the first one.
That's a good example, yeah.
Sort of go through that.
Or just prophet figures, you know.
Yeah. Just to add something in, we have criticized Peterson on identity. I'm monogamy. Now, the first time we fucked up because when we hear the words enforced monogamy, well, at least for me, I'm thinking that that means
correct me if I'm wrong.
Has to happen.
But I'm sure we said in the video itself, that like if he did mean this, then oh boy.
Yeah.
But if he didn't,
maybe not. I don't know what I said. I think you did. I don't know if I did that.
I'm pretty sure.
I just heard enforced monogamy. I was like, now the rest of it.
Because I know
now when I decipher the rest of what you're saying, I'm like,
I'm pretty sure it was an article, but we did a second video, so whatever.
Yeah.
Joe, we didn't get enough hate on that one too. So.
All right.
How does this pass as intellectual thought, right? This is an example of the nonsense that he spews, wrapped up in being against social justice warriors and transgender pronouns, and his audience just eats everything up because they like the anti-SJW stuff. And the underlying belief system and bias that's at play here is atheists are secretly religious. And that's a really common thing among true believers like Jordan Peterson, which is he can't really conceive of someone having a belief system so different than his. So he finds an explanation that deep down they must believe in God because, yeah, he doesn't see them committing mass murder or throwing people off stages. I don't know how any so-called non-religious skeptic type can follow Jordan Peterson and fall for his nonsense. And I don't...
Because looking through his other work, you can see that he's speaking on about these symbolic terms. And I think one of the...
I haven't seen his other work, to be fair.
I think one of the commenters was like, oh, if you look back at his other work, there's no way that enforced monogamy and he can say this at the same time.
Sure.
They just don't go together.
Sure, but it's also... there are certain things you say that... it's like, well, I mean, the first video, fair enough. Second video, it's when we read what he meant, as far as his rebuttal to that article.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't think I have to go back there now and look at it, you know. Whether I have his meaning right here. Yeah. This is what he means, right here.
And I don't know if he was baiting or not in that first one.
Possibly, you know.
And if you think about it, just as a social person, when you say enforced monogamy, someone's going to be like, what?
Hey, maybe.
He knows we're all not clinical psychologists and shit to just understand.
Yeah, I don't have a paper. Yeah. To prove I'm legit.
You know what I mean? Academic.
Yeah.
Academic clinical psychiatrist.
Yeah.
Or psychologist.
Freudian slip.
Don't get how the so-called free speech warriors fall for it either, since his entire rise to fame was based on misstating an issue of free speech, that C-16 bill. But I do want to congratulate Jordan Peterson, and I'm not doing this sarcastically, genuinely. He's laughing all the way to the bank with this stuff. He has built a fantastic business model on the basis of appealing to these individuals, and
some of them seeming like very cynical, this is where he was going. It's a very great business model. Wolfman and Hart, yeah.
He seems like a politician.
This dude?
Yeah.
I mean, hey, I was gonna say this. It looks like Roy Oswald.
All his arguments are on the surface.
Roy Oswald, Galvin Floyd, combined, and there he is. Anyway.
I don't remember what Galvin Floyd looks like. I don't remember. I know Roy Oswald. Floyd was on the White Sox, correct?
On many people's teams, from what I remember.
And Phillies too.
He's a sleeper, I think. Anyway. Yeah, what? It sounds like, to me, just from hearing it, quick, it was like, oops.
It could.
It's like the Clinton Foundation's a great business model. It's like, huh? Charities are the future of business. It's like, what? No. We should not be thinking of things like this. Now, I get where you would be coming from. If you said if he did have evidence this guy is doing this to get money, then okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
No.
That I have no idea about whether he's trying to make money or not.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Either way, it sounds like an attack type of tactic.
This guy?
Yeah.
Oh, hey,
you bring that up to whatever.
Hey, if he has
an attack.
If he has the means, Really?
Yeah.
I don't mind attacks. It's just
and he
why?
And he may sound politician-like because I believe he's reading he has something. He probably wrote down his ideas. Hopefully, he doesn't have like a staff of writers.
Well dressed.
That would suck.
Oh, but you know, from what I hear, is well dressed, and his hands are closely together. Some sort of satanic hand gesture. Looking down at the Baphomet.
There is a ton to be learned from Jordan Peterson, but it has nothing to be learned about his. It's not actually things to be learned from his teachings. It's about how you can wrap yourself up in this anti-SJW free speech stuff and have people accept you almost as a godlike figure and give you their money.
Yeah, when
his ideas are worth investigating. Even if he was 100% in it for money and was like, oh, I'm just making all this shit up, just throwing it out there. I'm still like, I agree with some of that, and I would consider investigating it.
Yeah, everything is worth looking into.
Oh, yeah, that too.
And the whole money thing, I mean, hey, if we could go there. If people want to buy your shit, people want to give you money in a healthy society, that's perfectly fine, you know?
Yeah.
People, like, you know, it's okay. But we'll see if there's a double standard.
Yeah, let's find out.
Patreon account numbers were public, he was making $60,000 per month.
Yeah.
I don't know where it's at now, but he also has
That is crazy.
books,
Oh, yeah.
speaking tours.
Sure.
Very lucrative business model, that's for
He
sure.
really is similar to Deepak Chopra in that way as well, who also has a very, very lucrative business model. And I mentioned that earlier, but he's also similar to the preacher dudes that say donate, 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 and then they buy themselves a private plane with the money. Not that Peterson.
Well, hold on, that's a really nice mic he has.
Yeah.
Gosh. Ugh. You're not supposed to hear that. I'm only saying that because our shit's so trash. I mean, look at his background, look at ours.
Well, he's quietly equating him to like a religious, religious leaders.
A religious figure or leader that proclaims charity, goodwill, fortune to all, and yet he takes in thousands and thousands of dollars to his church, and he profits off of it, and he claims to, like, you know, stuff like this, like hey, I'm donating $5,000 to the church. Don't you work for the church? What's going on with the money? What's going on, really? What's going on here? Elevation.
Hey, I could do that.
Maybe.
I could do that all day. Like, you know, James, he really likes chocolate ice cream. You know who else likes chocolate ice cream? Adolf Hitler. He likes chocolate ice cream. But I like to hear the counter argument.
They didn't hear that. You notice has black hair? Hitler did.
Hitler sketch coming soon.
Then it's like there's a button, it's just ejecto seats.
Is buying himself a private plane, but it's the idea of those guys who will sell you a really well wrapped up package that makes you say, I'm going to give them the money.
Sure,
and then you don't even really know in the end what you're actually giving the money for. So not surprising, but a lot of people unaware of the underlying sort of Christian dogma of Jordan Peterson. We'll take a break, and I will talk next to Deborah Satz about when markets don't work. Today's program is sponsored in part by Futur.
Whiny.
Futur is a social forecasting game where players come together.
That's an advertisement, right?
Compete with each other to predict future events.
And Tim doing it.
You open up the game on your phone,
it's
your web browser.
It's like an
you
uplifting.
See a whole range of forecasts covering.
Oh, look, it's
phone
app.
Board, politics, sports.
Let me
so
see.
much
Hold
more.
on.
You wager on predictions about real-world events using Futur's in-game fake currency, and you earn more of this currency every time you make a prediction that comes true.
I have a sudden urge to download the app.
I'm not watching this. What the fuck?
I have a sudden urge to download it. Buy it. No, I'm just kidding. So I feel like that's what I meant to do. I have the sudden urge to go purchase that item. Like as a kid, you see a commercial for like you know, Donatello and his new bicycle, Raphael and his skateboard. It's like, oh, I have the sudden urge to go buy it. Radical. Daddy, buy it. It's like, all right, son.
Yeah, I think David Pakman would have to do a little more investigating.
Well, I'm not trying to shit on him. I'm just going with what I hear. You
can't just listen to someone and then if they say the word God, that means that they are into this dogmatic religion, fundamentalism type thing because they used the word God. Because they didn't use my word, science. It's like, wait a minute.
It's my word and no one else should use it.
To be fair, I don't think this guy's really in that community of atheism versus religion.
Where is he?
I think he's more on a political spectrum.
Yeah.
Or he's like sort of around. I think he's more like a Kyle Kalinske type.
Maybe.
Like more of a political commenter. But yeah. No. Oh shit, we can record while we're fucking doing that. That's kind of cool.
Pause.